everyone, welcome back to my channel. Let me just start by apologising because there is some grass cutting or hedge cutting going out the front, and it's also going out the back, and there's nowhere in this building that I can get away from the noise. So I'm really sorry if you can hear it. Hopefully you can't, and hopefully they go home because they're doing my head in. Also, another thing is the sun that was here seems to have disappeared and the lighting is horrendous. It is all grey skies in Glasgow, and you're gonna have to just deal with the poor lighting and the probably noisy background. This video is going to be about how to save money on your weekly food shop. If you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen that I've been managing to spend £40 or less on my weekly food shop, and I've had so many comments asking how, and I'm trying to give you every single tip, but it's a lot to write, so I thought why not make a video, and it's all here and you can take it from there. So let me just jump right in and start with tip number 1. My first tip on how to save money on your weekly food shop is set a realistic budget. Mine's is £40, and I'm aware that not everyone can shop for £40 because you might have a bigger family. I've got myself, my husband and my son, and obviously some people have pets, they've got more kids, so realistically £40 isn't for everyone. This isn't how to get your bill to £40, this is on how to save yourself some money. I know some people who have got the same amount of family members as me, and they're spending well over £100 on their weekly food shop, and I just can't get my head around that. There's no point in setting a low number because then you're never going to stick to it and you'll always go over, and it's just pointless. Tip number 2 is probably quite an obvious one, but it's something that I've never done before and I've just started doing recently, and it seems to be working really well actually, and that is make a meal plan for your dinners and for your lunches and for breakfast if you have fancy breakfast. I don't, but if you have fancy breakfast, make meal plans for every meal that you're going to have. We used to just decide on the day what we're having for dinner, or decide the night before so we could get stuff in. I would maybe ask my mum if I was at work to pick stuff up for us, and then I'm owing money out to her, and yeah, it was just really stressful. We didn't always have food in the house, and it's nice to know that we've got the food here and we're going to always have something for dinner every night. And even if we switch it up, we could always change your mind and have another meal at a different night. But yeah, stick to a meal plan and include your lunches in it, because otherwise you're going to end up going to work and you'll just jump out to the shop because you're not prepared. Tip number 3 is once you've got your meal plan, just write down every single ingredient that you're going to need for those meals. So I'm talking about everything. If you are having a sandwich, write butter down, write bread, write ham, lettuce, mayonnaise, whatever you have on your sandwich, you write it down. If you're having spaghetti bolognese, then you would have your mince, your spaghetti, whatever you have for your sauce. I use a jar, and just include every single bit of food that you're going to need, every ingredient to have those meals. Then once you've done that, you're going to go around your fridge and your cupboards and see what ingredients you already have. So for example, butter, I'm sure you're going to have butter, but still write it down just in case you don't have it. Maybe you've got some leftover vegetables that can go in a meal. And then once you've wrote down all your ingredients and gone through the cupboards, then you're going to just check everything off, and that means you're not going to buy any doublers of food that you've already got and risk one of them going out of date before you've had the chance to use them. Also, it gives you a chance as well to then see if you're going to need chicken more than once in the week. Then you can buy a bigger pack of chicken, and usually if you buy a bigger pack then you're going to save more money. So that's why it's good to have everything written down and know what you're going to be having. Tip number 4 is check ahead for prices where you can, because I know not every shop has an online pricing system, but I shop in Sainsbury's, and I know I could probably get cheaper shops elsewhere, but I just prefer Sainsbury's food, so that's where I go. I also shop in Lidl or Aldi for certain things, and we also go to Iceland for our frozen things. We're very fortunate that we've got kind of all those shops round about us, so it's not that inconvenient for us. If you find that you've got all your shops that are so far apart, usually in like retail parks there's maybe 1 or 2 of the cheaper brand shops together, but if it's a pain for you, then you can maybe go to Iceland and buy in bulk. But it means then you're not making several trips every week, and also it's frozen, so it's going to go in the freezer and it's going to keep. So you can maybe then look ahead for the month and see what you're going to need and bulk buy. Yeah, so I shop in those 3 shops, and when I've got my list of ingredients, what I do is that I type all the ingredients in on Sainsbury's and I see the prices of everything, and then the things that I can then get in Iceland, I'll go onto the Iceland website and have a look at the prices that they've got them at, and whatever one's cheaper I'll just write an S or an I next to it so I know where I'm going to be going for it. A prime example of a time that I never did this was last week's food shop. and I bought lettuce in Sainsbury's, and then I went into Aldi afterwards and saw it was half the price. I'm gutted, really gutted. 40p I could have saved, but I'll live and I'll learn, and I'll save next time. Tip number 5 is don't be a brand snob, and I'm guilty of being one of them. Well, I used to be anyway. I used to only buy branded items. When I was 18 I moved out, and I very quickly realised that I was poor and I could not afford to buy all these expensive brands, and I realised that, you know what, some of the cheaper and own brand items or own shop branded items are actually not bad, and maybe sometimes even better. My go-to example for this is always ketchup and mayonnaise. I go to Sainsbury's for my food shop, my bulk food shop, and I get the Sainsbury's own brand ketchup, which is 80p for quite a big tub of ketchup, and the Heinz ketchup is a smaller size bottle and it's £2. Now that is what you call a no-brainer. 80p or £2. It tastes the same. But mayonnaise, on the other hand, I've tried several different brands of mayonnaise and I just can't seem to find one that I like enough to switch from Hellmann's. I get the squeezy bottle of Hellmann's mayonnaise, and that's where, you know, I could save money, but I just haven't found anything that I like enough, and I'm not willing to compromise my taste buds for something I don't like just to save some money. Things like for Lidl, I get all my biscuits and sweets, all those kind of things. You can get like packs of biscuits for 80p where it could probably be £2 in a bigger supermarket. Another thing that I always think as well, like pasta, I think pasta's pasta once it's cooked. It just tastes the same to me. I would never notice if someone gave me the 20p pack of spaghetti that I buy over maybe like one that's like 150 plus. I really wouldn't notice a difference. 20p for a pack of spaghetti, we're winning. Tip number 6 is buy frozen where you can. I buy all my frozen vegetables. I buy broccoli, peppers, onions, and they taste the same. If it's in a stir fry, you're not going to notice it. If it's got like a sauce with it, you're not going to notice it. Sometimes I just have a wee bowl of green beans and I absolutely love it. It's going to last you a lot longer. It's like 150 for a pack, like a big pack of frozen broccoli, for example. You're going to get maybe 3, 4, 5, depends how much broccoli you're having, meals out of that. It's not going to go out of date the same way that it would if you were buying fresh, and that's usually for one meal, and if you don't eat it all, it just goes in the bin, and I'm guilty for that. I never finish a full pack of fresh broccoli and it just goes in the bin. So what's the point? Buy frozen where you can and you'll save so much money on just that alone. And if you're like me, then you'll save on so much food waste. Tip number 7 is to pay in cash. I'm finding it easier to go to the bank ahead of time, get the amount of money that I'm going to be spending for the week and pop it in a little envelope or a little Polly Pocket thing, a special purse so you're not going to dip into. Just have it separate from your other money and go to the shop. That way you've kept track on what you've spent. You're going to be less inclined to add an extra thing into your trolley, because let's face it, when you're paying with your card it does feel like fake money, and especially with the new contactless where you don't actually need to have money in your bank to tap it and then the money comes out a few days later. That is so bad, and I'm guilty for not having money in my bank and I've tapped that little card. It's just so risky and it's a really bad way of getting yourself into debt, and it's over silly little amounts of money as well. So pay by cash where you can. So whatever you've set your budget for, whether it's £40, £50, £100, just take that money out and that's to last you the week. And whatever you've got left over, it's up to you whether you want to put it towards next week's money or put it into a savings account or give it to your kids or whatever you want to do. That is your money now that's been saved, and it's up to you what you want to do with it. Enjoy having extra pennies. Could be a fiver, it could be £2, it could be a couple of pence, but you know what? As Tesco says, every little helps. So tip number 8 is something I just touched upon in my previous tip, and that is putting your money in little wallets. And it's up to you whether you want to do it per week or at the start of the month. This month I've just been doing it per week, but when I next get paid I'm going to take out the full amount that I'm going to need and I'm going to put it into separate envelopes with little week numbers on it, so week 1, 2, 3, 4. That way I'm not going to dip into my bank and take my food shop budget and spend it on something silly like something in Primark or I don't know, just rubbish. let's face it, we spend our money on rubbish, don't we? I just find it keeps my money safe, and I know what it is and I know what it's for, and I know I'm not going to dip into that for anything else other than my weekly food shop. Another tip that I've been doing is keeping receipts. I'm putting them back in the little wallet that I've got for my money, and I'm able to then look at how much I've spent exactly. Obviously I've got the cash, but to also then look at where I could cut costs and see what I'm buying that's maybe not that essential. So for example, my husband was putting juice in that we didn't necessarily need, and it was cheap, but I mean that was like £1 that we didn't need to spend. So things like that we can maybe like pull back on just for the time being till we've got some savings behind us. Tip number 9 is take your own bags. Not only is it good for the environment, but bag prices are going up and they're now 10p a bag. Sainsbury's I think are still 5p and you get the decent thick bag, but Morrison's, Marks and Spencer's, everywhere are now charging 10p per bag. Can you believe it? I didn't even know it had gone up and I was so shocked. I was like, where's the 5p bags? Anyway, I keep forgetting to bring bags, and that is like 15p, maybe 20p, sometimes maybe even up to 30, depends on how much we're getting and how big the items are. But I'm just wasting money. Like that 20p is my spaghetti for however many weeks that's gonna last me. So yeah, like just think wisely, take your own bags, you're saving the environment, you're saving your pennies, and we're all happy with saving pennies. Tip number 10 is to check the deals. And this is an important one because I've been guilty for picking up deals that aren't actually deals before. For example, I was trying to get tins of soup. Tomato soup, just normal tomato soup, and I saw a pack of 4 for £3. Then I saw the individual cans were 70p. And 70p times 4 is £2.80. So that's 20p saving. Again, that's a pack of spaghetti. But yeah, that is not a deal. You're not getting a deal for buying in bulk there. You're getting a better deal if you buy individually, and you might not even need 4 tins of soup, you might just need 2. So again, that's saving you money just right there. So don't always get the packs that you think are a good deal. They're not always a good deal. Always look at the amount that you're getting and the price. So if you look at the ticket, there's always a number underneath and it says how much it is per grams or whatever it is, and always look at that and see what one's cheaper. And you'll be surprised actually, because sometimes you think buying bigger items you save more money, but when you look at the amount of grams and how much money that costs, then you're actually better maybe buying 2 of the smaller items. You might spend more, but it's going to last you longer in the long run. So yeah, check those labels and always check the deals because they're not always a good deal. So that is it for my top 10 tips on how to save on your weekly food shop. I hope you liked it, and I hope that I've gave you some new ideas that maybe you hadn't thought of. And if you have any ideas that you think that maybe I could be saving money somewhere, then please tell me below, because I am desperate to save even more money. I would like to actually get my weekly food shop down to £30, which I think is probably going to be impossible, but we are having a baby and milk is expensive, and I don't know if I'll be able to breastfeed because I had a tough time with Arlen, so I'm thinking ahead of having to buy formula. So it's expensive having a baby that doesn't breastfeed, so I'm trying to think ahead on how to save even more money so we can budget in the milk. You know, it's gonna be tight, but I think we could do it. Otherwise I'm gonna have to, like, I don't know, sell my soul or something, I don't know, to get some money. I don't know what I'm gonna have to do, but I'll have to find money elsewhere. So I'm doing my weekly food shop on either Sunday or Monday, and then I'm gonna film what I've bought and explain how I've managed to do it again. So for example, like, although I'm saying I've got food for the week, I'm not necessarily buying all that food in one week. So we get frozen baked potatoes and we got 4 for £2 because there was an offer on, and that's then 2 meals over 2 weeks. So I then don't have to buy baked potatoes for the week after, and we maybe just need to buy coleslaw. So things like that is how we save money. We've already got the peppers and what have you, so we don't need to then buy it again for the week after. So that's how I'm saving the money. I'm being smart with it. I've got my meal plans, I know what I've already got in the house, and I know what I don't need to buy, and yeah. So if you want to see that video, then please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and you should see it hopefully on Monday. Thank you for watching. I hope you liked it. Hopefully I've been able to save you some money and give you some tips. And yeah, thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!